I love me a good celebration of Nick Cage. We're going to talk about that celebration. First, I want to give some love to the sponsor of this video. This video is brought to you by Nordvpn. Nordvpn is a VPN service that looks to help you navigate this digital wonderland / digital minefield called the internet more safely. And they have a myriad of services ranging from protection to convenience. Nordvpn has released threat protection feature which blocks malware, scans downloaded files for viruses, but it also allows you to change your virtual location with one click, allowing you to watch content that might not be available in the region or country you're currently located. It's like everything is truly everywhere all at once, and when such a movie comes to a streaming service, you can watch it even if it's not innately available in your country. Just do them apart. Plus, Nord has a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is a solid peace of mind. So click the link below, go to nordvpn.com/Johns, get yourself a 2-year plan with a huge discount, plus 1 additional month for free. And thank you once again to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. I do appreciate it. And now, okay, let's ride. So The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, one of my anticipated movies of 2022. The movie stars Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage. He's kind of down on his luck. He needs some money because some of the projects he's picked lately, which right there, like that is confidence to me. This movie is Nick Cage confidence in a bottle. Not a lot of actors can play a caricatured version of themselves and not take themselves so seriously. How many people can take the memeability and some of the online, we'll call it shit talk about some of the choices in their career, and they'll be like, yeah, we'll use that as a jumping off point, you know? We'll get the plot going in a movie where I play myself. That's cool. So he gets the invite to get paid $1 million to hang out with a super rich super fan played by Pedro Pascal. And the CIA gets wind of this and they're like, oh, that's a really dangerous person, so you're gonna spy on him for us? It is funny that the premise of this movie did remind me of, it's like the movie The Interview, but starring Nicolas Cage. So it's a Nick Cage celebration movie / buddy comedy / spy comedy. But so many things in this movie work. Because this movie does have premise Kevlar, I call it, where it's Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage in a movie that celebrates Nicolas Cage. Screwing that up would take a massive amount of work. One could call it talent. If they screwed this up, I would almost cry sabotage. Luckily, they don't. We all love Nick Cage. Early COVID lockdown, one of the things I did is I reviewed the Nick Cage Holy Trinity. That would be the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And it was amazing. It was a good time. It's one of those string of reviews where I was like, I'm proud of that. And from there, you have all the movie references and movie love you want. Some are obvious. It's like, oh yeah, we all love that. Some are deep cuts, man. That Captain Corelli's mandolin reference, I was like, that's in the weeds right there, which made it better. Who am I kidding? The chemistry between Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage is on point. The support cast in this movie all do their part really well, but they never eclipse the Nick Cage-Pedro Pascal dynamic. The movie is quite literally on their shoulders. At a point in this movie, the Nicolas Cage-Pedro Pascal dynamic, the friendship is so good, you just kind of don't care that this guy is supposedly dangerous, or you forget, it doesn't matter, you just kind of fall into it. As for, we'll call it the celebration of Nick Cage angle, I had so much fun with that, because that's, who wouldn't? It's Nick Cage, man. Is he crazy Nick Cage? Sometimes. Is he memeable? Sometimes. But is he also a talented dramatic actor? Fuck yeah, he is. The movie has fun with that. He talks to this imaginary version of himself called Nicky, whom we've seen in interviews. I will say the last act of this movie becomes essentially an action movie, which is in line with the Nicolas Cage celebration. They do a good job at tying it into that. The movie is also a very self-aware movie in general, so it's very aware that it's going to that place and it addresses that it's going to that place. But I gotta be honest, the action movie element that is the last act of this movie was never as much fun as the first 2 acts of this movie. Seeing Nicolas Cage play this lovable yet down on his luck, caricatured, self-centered version of himself. Pedro Pascal's character just freaking out, like fanboying that this person's even hanging out with him. The 2 of them going on adventures, including but not limited to an LSD trip. Like that was the most fun I had with this movie. In the end, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is at its peak, at its strongest, when it's the Nick Cage celebration that it promises to be. And as much as that celebration of him was fun to watch, I love the fact that it's seen through the friendship of these 2 guys. I never had those laugh out loud, deep gut laugh moments. But this movie had moments of constant chuckling. It's more comedic appreciation, I guess to call it that. It's more like, you know, like the audience will give that nod of approval, like, I approve of that reference. You can have things where it's like, I feel like I've seen that in movies before, but have you seen it with the celebration of Nick Cage as Nick Cage playing Nick Cage? I think not. So you're like, all right, yeah, it's feels new. And if new's not the word, just fucking awesome is. And actually, side note, I love the fact that it does briefly address the difference between how an actor sees the work he does and how fans do. How fans have a personal relationship with the work, and the actors a lot of times are like, yeah, I love that movie. It paid bills just fine. I don't know, I appreciate that. It's just this real thing that people don't address. But the movie wrapped up with me having a good time. More than a good time, a great time. A time worth watching and worth buying on Blu-ray. All right, so The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.